that we wanted to talk about with inclusion is that I think there's this tradition that speech and language therapy is provided in a pull-out service. I think it just started that way, and it's still the setting that it's still the model that's used in clinical settings. And there's also this idea that therapy is true therapy when you're pulling them out. But really, that philosophy is just not what we have at our school. We think that inclusion is actually more beneficial and I guess more therapy than they would get in a pull out kind of situation, especially for students that have significant needs and that are working on lots of different goals outside of communication. So it's not that we never use that pull out method, but it's almost never used for those students that have more than just articulation goals. So we are using that inclusion push in services for students that have, OT, PT, and then also our PT and our OT are using that inclusion push in method as well. And the way that we kind of do that is that we have to be very intentional about it. So we have to think about, okay, when we're scheduling, when is the natural time for communication to happen the most? Even though it's happening all the time, I may prioritize seeing that student during a free play session time instead of gym time. So at gym time, our physical therapist would then kind of take more precedence over that time because that's more of a natural time for her to do push-in therapy for that gym time. And then our administrator kind of manages our schedule in the sense of she manages when our gross motor and library schedule is, but then the classroom teachers decide what the rest of the schedule, the rest of the days and days of the week look like. And then once we get that schedule, which is typically after about the first week of school, then all the therapists are creating their schedules to come up with a plan of how can we all find natural ways to work on the goals that these students are working on in our area. And then if there's a conflict, we will kind of talk about, okay, well, who's here more, who has more flexibility, who has less flexibility. So I have more flexibility because I'm here full time versus our physical therapist is only here once or twice a week. So I would definitely give up that time and try to rearrange my schedule to make sure that that student gets that particular time with the physical therapist. And then I think it just really takes a mindset shift, and it's just part of our culture in our school that push in is what we do. And when there's that culture and that just that expectation, when you see it being done, it just becomes so much easier, and it's just very natural. So